Would you like to be in a relationship? And by relationship, I mean a parasocial one, of course. But aren't those the best kind? Welcome. Today, I want to talk to you about why I like parasocial relationships. A lot of people think they're unhealthy, but they definitely have their perks. Oh man, after trying to build real relationships, I realized I've been taking my parasocial relationships for granted. If you're anything like me, socializing can be a very complicated and draining thing to do. These have to be the easiest kinds of relationships of all time, and here's why. Whenever you need a dose of company, hit play and suddenly it's like someone's in the room with you, minus any judgment from their end for what you may or may not be doing. And you can end your hangout session anytime you want by pressing a button. Or, if you suddenly get the feeling you don't want to be buds with them anymore, then guess what? They won't miss you when you're gone. You haven't offended them in the slightest. It's a clean break. I honestly hate confrontation, and having to tell someone you don't want to be friends anymore is something I've always struggled with. I don't know, I just have a special place in my heart for my parabesties. I love getting to know people with these amazing personalities that think in a somewhat similar way to myself that can show me different ways of life that I wouldn't even know about if it hadn't been for them. Most of the time, I feel like a fish in a shark tank because most people around me are very, very different. I think seeing people who are somewhat similar to yourself can be so good for you. Not everyone gets lucky enough to have kind, like-minded individuals in their lives. And when you live in certain circumstances or are very, very introverted, finding those people can be almost impossible. Another thing, they're educational. It truly scares me to think about how dumb I'd be if I didn't have the internet to teach me everything I know. Another thing, you don't need to entertain them. I hate the thought of having to entertain anyone except you. You'll never catch me throwing a party. When you have a friend over, you have to find a way to entertain them or else you're a rude host. Parabuds ask for so little in return. They just want you to like and subscribe and they're happy. Now, how low maintenance is that? It's like the pet rock of relationships. All time wasted is on your terms. You don't have to get them a birthday or a Christmas gift. You don't have to talk out your differences and come to a mutual understanding. And they'll never pressure you to do something you don't really want to do. Yeah, the only real downside is if you really want a back and forth conversation or you really, really need a favor. But as far as convos go, that's what ChatGPT is for. I guess when you're busy and socially awkward, parasocial relationships are the greatest. So, shout out to you, Parabuds, for making my days cooler. And to anybody watching, maybe we can be Parabuds. And I'll never call you guys. Hey, thanks for staying till the end. So, I just wanted to put a little obvious disclaimer. I'm not saying you should abandon all real-world human interaction. This video is pretty much for comedic purposes with maybe a hint of relatability. I also wanted to touch on my art a little more. I'm almost sort of a beginner artist, but not entirely because I used to draw a lot as a kid. I never really did it the proper way, like drawing the pose, then the body, then the clothes, then the face, then the hair, then the colors. I just tried my hardest to copy what I saw from cartoons all in one go, but people still told me I drew really well. Then I stopped during my teenage years and adult years, only doing it very rarely. And now I've dedicated myself to trying to develop my art style to the best of its potential. The art style of my videos is pretty simple and rushed because if I tried my hardest for every frame, it would take me a year to finish. I draw pretty slow and sometimes I have a really hard time with anatomy. I much prefer drawing faces. Here in this clip, I'm drawing an adult version of my gotcha character that I made. And this is more what one of my completed illustrations might look like. I still try to keep it pretty simple because not only am I still getting used to drawing again, but I just really love simple yet cool looking drawings. I'm not the type of person to spend 8 hours making a drawing. I'll probably do around like 3 hours max. Anyways, I hope this video made you smile or not feel alone at any point. And I hope you have a cool rest of your day. Bye!